Welcome back to Moonlight Theater. Hello and welcome back to Moonlight Theater. I hope you've all had a great week and are ready to kick back and relax with another Jaws ripoff movie. Each of these ripoff films brought something a little unique to the table. Orca made it a more personal tale of revenge between man and nature, and you weren't really sure which side to root for. Both sides had their own cause. Whereas in Jaws, it's pretty clear and defined that you'd be rooting for the humans to survive and to triumph over the shark, so that was cool for Orca. Well, tonight's film is going to change up the formula yet again, because it's taking us out of the ocean and to the streets of Chicago. Yeah. We're looking at Alligator from 1980. Alligator shows us that a Jaws-type situation can happen anywhere. So Jaws really made us afraid to swim in the ocean, and Alligator probably made you afraid to go to your local Uno restaurant. The film was directed by Louis Teague, who would later go on to direct a few well-known Stephen King movies, including Cujo and The Cat's Eye, which had an awesome theme song. The film also stars Robert Forster, one of our personal favorite actors here at Moonlight Theater. He's just too damn cool. Known for his roles in Quentin Tarantino's Jackie Brown, he had a role in my favorite TV show Twin Peaks.
What's your Skype handle, Doc? I'll saddle up.
Middlebury Doc.
He's also been on Breaking Bad. He had a very successful career. And speaking of Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston of Breaking Bad fame actually worked on this film as a special effects assistant. He was in charge of making and rigging the alligator guts for the film, so before he was cooking meth, he was cooking alligator guts. So like any good horror story, our plot begins at a tourist trap in Florida.
And you thought that was just an old dead log lying there. I'll tell you, these gators are mean. They're real. By the way, folks, you can get your own genuine Florida baby alligator and other Seminole souvenirs at the concession stand in the lobby. Okay, you can get yourself a genuine alligator at the stand back there. Oh, think about it as a big man.
What they could do without the fake blood.
It's real, Mama.
Why did you shoot it?
They could turn it on its back, it'll fall asleep.
Stay calm now. We got everything under control. Don't worry about it.
After watching a man's leg get ripped apart before her eyes, the little girl decides that she wants to have a little alligator as a pet and begs her parents and takes one back home to Chicago.
Pick yourself a cute one, honey. Go ahead. They won't hurt you. They're tender little babies. Come on.
Oh, no.
I'll call him Ramon.
Yeah.
Cute.
Oh, come on, let's go, honey.
She's so happy to have her little alligator.
You'll love living here, Ramon. It's so fun.
And for some reason, the father comes home randomly, absolutely just freaking the fuck out. It's never explained what it is, but he's just going batshit, and decides to flush her baby alligator down the toilet.
Injured and traffic has been halted in Chicago.
He's at school at the science fair. Now, what are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna get rid of it. This alligator turn's behind a closed hammer
And what are you gonna tell?
We'll give him a burial at sea.
And it's hinted at that he did something with the little girl's hamsters as well. I don't know what that little detail was, but this household has a little issue when it comes to pets. The alligator goes down the drain, and that's just set up for imminent disaster. The story picks up years later, and we meet our main protagonist, David Madison, who's buying a dog from a really creepy pet shop owner.
What do you say there, kid?
I know just what you're going through.
What are you looking at?
The patch on the back, the thinning of the front, you know what I mean? Same thing, you know?
Yeah. Okay, what is it? 1590. Had another one. We swiped him out in front of a grocery store. I must have been in there 2 minutes and bingo.
Yeah, that sure goes on a lot around this neighborhood. Did you call the cops?
I am the cops.
All the while, human remains and pet remains are washing up in the sewer plant, and the police are investigating it, trying to figure out what's going on. And we soon find out, after joining back with our creepy pet shop owner, turns out this guy's capturing puppies and dogs for a pharmaceutical company, so that they can perform the shady experiments on these dogs. And whatever they're doing is highly illegal, which is pretty true to real life with these pharmaceutical companies.
I'm gonna need a lot more of those for this experiment.
How about some cats? I got plenty of cats.
Puppies.
I also got a parrot I'd like to get rid of.
Puppies. And we're through with those. You can dump them.
Right.
Gutchell, I need a lot more animals. The old man's breathing down my neck for results. Now get cracking.
Right. Puppies.
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 The pet store owner is actually the same guy who's been dumping the dog bodies into the water as well. He messes up the drop and has to put one of the bodies into the water himself. And we get some alligator justice because this guy gets what he deserves. That's what you get for experimenting on dogs. And we join back up with Madison, who's continuing his police investigation. He's a good, tough main character that's smart and he's fun to watch, so he helps to move along these police parts, in my opinion. Through his investigation, we learned that this pharmaceutical company is actually researching a growth hormone using the dogs as test subjects.
Yes, we do quite a bit of in vivo research.
You ever do business with a pet store owner named Gutchell?
All of our subjects are either bred here or we purchase them from the city pound.
What happens when you run out of test animals?
We have to suspend research. That does happen. Look, Detective, I'd like to be more help to you, but like I said, when we're done with the subjects, they're taken back to the pound for cremation. It's all very carefully regulated by the Humane Society.
Is it possible for one of these dogs to get loose and wind up in the sewer system?
No.
And if you put two and two together, you're throwing the dogs in the sewers and the alligator's eating those dogs, we're gonna have a big gator! There's a little press conference scene where we learn a little bit more about Madison's character, and then he has a checkered past when it comes to partners.
No comment.
Do you think there might be a Jack the Ripper type killer operating in the city?
It's a little too early to speculate on that kind of bull.
Well, what do you think the motive might have been in these slayings?
Raise newspaper circulation. Look, I can't do this.
As you can see, we have very little information at the moment. Now, if you'll excuse us, Detective Madison and I have work to do.
Officer Madison, aren't you the same David Madison who lost his partner in the Hotel Baldwin incident in St. Louis?
Yeah.
I believe in that case your partner was stabbed to death, wasn't he?
He was shot.
That's right, I'm sorry.
We will keep you posted.
And then we get this really random scene of a guy claiming to be the one who's been throwing all the bodies in the sewer, comes in with a bomb strapped to his chest.
Sir? Yeah? I killed a man in the sewer. Madison? Well, look, you give us a second. I'll take you down to Sergeant Reynolds. He'll take your confession. No, sir, I didn't come to confess. I came to kill the rest of you.
This, buddy, you want to know the truth? I used to be a left-hander, there may be a right-hander. I wanted to be a priest, they made me into a cop. You want to blow the joint up? I don't care what you do. I stopped wanting to be a cop about last week. I had...
Don't even blink.
Okay, what do I say? Don't do anything yet. Look on the side. It's not on this side. It's a radio.
Next time, try Lauren.
Kind of a random scene. Turns out the bomb was fake, but Madison and Sergeant Kelly end up going into the sewers to investigate. One thing I really like about this movie is that the atmosphere in the sewers is spot on. It's wet, it's dark, there's tons of rats and trash, and it really sets the mood for the lair of a giant alligator. And my god, do they see a giant alligator. This thing is awesome. The animatronic they used is huge, and it just looks so cool. The two of them flee the alligator and try to escape the sewers. But unfortunately, the manhole will not move and Sergeant Kelly is taken into the sewers. Madison lost another partner. Madison wakes up in the hospital, and of course nobody believes his story about a giant alligator. And tensions begin to rise because he lost yet another partner, and people are starting to question his sanity and whether he really is a good cop. And he even gets harassed by that dickhead reporter from before.
Here you lost another partner.
You got no comment on that?
You know, that's getting to be a habit with you. I pulled out the files on the Baldwin Hotel shooting.
Hey, Ken, lay off.
I'll lay off. You tell me what happened in the sewer yesterday.
No comment.
Chief, I'm not asking you.
However, following a lead, the reporter decides to go check out the sewers himself. And he becomes Gator Food, our second victim of the film. In a pretty cool death sequence too, using the camera flash as a strobe light death effect. It's pretty cool. And now that they have photographic proof of the alligator, the word is out and hysteria begins to spread. A mass SWAT team's brought in, they got guns, they even brought a rocket launcher, they're not messing around. So they go into his lair to flush him out, but the alligator decides it's time to leave the sewers. And this is probably one of my favorite sequences in the movie, seeing the alligator break through the sidewalk. It's just an awesome effect, and it looks so convincing.
That's the one on the TV! Let's get out of here! Come on, let's go!
And then all hell breaks loose. This little kid watches the cop get eaten right in front of him and then decides to take matters into his own hands. He grabs the kitchen knife out of his own home and then runs after the alligator. We at Moonlight Theater salute you, little Johnny. And I guess we can throw his mom a parenting award. And at this point of the film, it kind of slows back down with some more police drama, and it kind of drags a little bit, to be honest. We kind of find out that the mayor is in with the pharmaceutical company, and they're working together, and they get Madison fired from the police force for digging too deep into the investigation. We get one of those nice little "you're off the force" scenes between him and the police chief.
I'll need your shield, David. You're off the force.
What are you talking about?
You pushed too far.
You didn't really expect me to work under that guy Brock, did you?
It's out of my hands.
But like a true cop, Madison doesn't let that stop him. He bounces right back.
Well, how do you feel?
I was always worried they were going to can me anyway. Now that it happened, phew, I feel wonderful.
And what are you going to do?
Go out there, I'm going to find that alligator, and I'm going to kick his ass.
And hunting for this alligator does spark a little romance between him and the reptile expert that's teaming up with him.
Feel better?
Much.
You know, when I first met you, I thought you were one of those real tight asses.
We all did, Madison. This scene in particular is one of the most disturbing sequences of all time. In my opinion, it's one of the most disturbing scenes ever. When I was a very, very little kid, I saw this scene on TV, and for years I couldn't remember what this movie was from, but I just remember this scene very, very vividly. I'm just gonna roll the scene here.
Yeah, you we're stealing our dog! All right, now, walk the point. Donald!
Jesus, this scene was burned into my brain as a small child, and for years I kept visualizing this pool, the Halloween costumes, the kid jumping in and blood just coming up. God, this movie's not afraid to kill kids, man. Alligator doesn't fuck around. The back half of the film ramps up with some serious alligator action. This thing is large and in charge and doesn't give a shit about anything. The best scene is when this alligator crashes a wedding and you get to see it out in the bright sunlight. It's just throwing people all around, whipping people, eating the fuck out of everything. It's awesome. The gator ends up even killing the mayor and the leader of the pharmaceutical company. And they both get what they deserve. Hell yeah. Madison then chases it back to its lair in the sewers, and there's a final confrontation. He rigs the place with TNT and manages to escape just in the nick of time and blows the gator sky high. And in this scene, we get a nice little gore fountain from the alligator's head. And you get to see all of Brian's guts at work. Thanks, Brian. And then it goes into your stereotypical end of a cop movie where the rest of the police show up and everyone's kind of getting wrapped up, and it's all good. However, at the end, we see the sewer pipe yet again, and another baby alligator falls in. And that's Alligator. It's a pretty decent movie. It has a lot of fun moments, but it does have some moments that do drag on for a little too long. The main draw to this movie for me was just to see this giant animatronic alligator kill some people, and it definitely delivered on that. So if you enjoyed Alligator or you didn't enjoy Alligator, let me know. And maybe comment what your favorite giant animal horror movie is, or any other film suggestions you might have, or something you want me to take a look at. Anything's appreciated, seriously. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys, as always. Until next time.
Do they have a love call?
Your alligator is a very romantic creature. It gets the itch, come spring, and it'll give out with a sound, something like this.